speaking, and welcome to this video. Right time for another Q&A. So I will be answering the questions that was left on the previous Q&A video. Thank you to everyone who did leave a question. I've got some great questions. I've just had a quick skim of them. I've got some tough questions, to be fair. I'm going to find quite hard to answer, but we'll have a go. If you want this series to continue, then please don't forget to put some more questions in the comments box below. And then everyone that I mention in this video, I will put a link to their channel in the description below, so go and check them out. And if I happen to mention anyone else during the video as well, I'll also put a link to their channel, so don't forget to check them all out. Just a little note, if I do start coughing, I still have like a dry tickly cough from when I was ill, so bear with me on that one. I do have my cup of coffee handy, so hopefully it won't cause me too many problems. Okay, so the first question is from E-TRON, and he says, have you had a look at the gene cult rules yourself, and what do you think to running them with nids in 40k games? Okay, I haven't looked at the cult rules, I have to be honest, I haven't seen them. I know that Aceface is doing a Gene Stealer cult list within a normal 40k army, so I'm assuming the rules are pretty good, because obviously Ace is very up on the rules, so you know, he wouldn't be taking them if they weren't very good, so I'm assuming that they've got some good rules. Yeah, assuming they've got some good rules, and I can't see that any problems in running them in a standard list. I mean, why not? The rules are there to be used, so why not? And I don't think Ace is taking his Gene Stealer stroke Tyranid list to a tournament, so I'm assuming he's all tournament legal as well. So yeah, why not? Thank you for your question, E-TRON. Definitely check his channel out, by the way. And just another quick thank you to E-TRON for sending me those Tyranid dice that my daughter beat me with. Thanks for those, buddy, because I do really appreciate it. Next question is from Cruorangelussilicis. I'm guessing there with his name. That may even been right. Probably not. Anyway, Mike, he says, I was wondering what makes you unsubscribe to a channel. Also, do you think Nicholas will ever make a return from the mirror universe? Okay, so I'm going to talk about Nicholas first. Yes is the answer. I definitely think he will return. I think I sort of mentioned this before, but when I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to have a special video, and in that video be like the League of Heroes type thing, and I'm going to bring all of the characters that I've had on the channel up to that point in on the 10,000 subscriber video. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but that is my plan. So it'll be like the Avengers. Should be good fun. So yeah, actually I want to show you something. Bear with me 1 second. Right, how cool is this? Hopefully it will focus. This is something that a colleague did for me as a little gift. Yeah, the many faces of IDICBeer. So we've got normal me, mirror universe me with a moustache, and Nikutus me just down the corner there. How cool is that? That was really, really nice. Right, anyway, so second part of the question is, or the first part actually, what makes you unsubscribe to a channel? Well, I don't generally unsubscribe to channels because I don't normally subscribe to channels that I'm not interested in. So I do make a point of checking people's content before I make a sub. I don't just automatically subscribe. So for example, if their videos are just like gaming videos or something, then I probably wouldn't subscribe. So I would already be subscribed to someone for a reason. But of course, sometimes you subscribe to someone and they don't upload a video for a couple of years, and all of a sudden a video might pop up in your feed of a channel that you don't recognise or you don't have any interaction with. And if I see the video come up and maybe it's, I don't know, like about I don't know, hang gliding or something. You know, it's nothing to do with 40k, and I see that in my feed, I think, what's that? I won't go in and unsubscribe straight away, but I'll just sort of keep an eye on it. And then if I get regular videos like that coming through on my feed, then I might investigate the channel a little bit, and if it's has no 40k content on there, I may unsubscribe if I've got no interaction with that channel. But it's very rare, to be fair. Usually I just skip it in my feed, you know. So yeah, very rarely do I unsubscribe a channel. I don't really unsubscribe a channel. If somebody makes a video that I don't like or don't agree with, I wouldn't unsubscribe to them. I just watch the video. If I don't like the video, I probably won't make a comment or won't like it. And then I'll just let it pass and wait for the next video to come up. And move along as such, I suppose. So the next question excuse me, is from Immortal Uprising Studio, Bazza. Go and check Bazza's channel out if you haven't already. Awesome guy. His question is, my question is, and I know you said to make videos for yourself and subscribers will come, but would you ever sell out and do what people want to see, as in follow the crowd, if that makes sense? Okay, so I think it sort of makes sense, yeah. And I have made videos because it's what people have wanted before, but things like, for example, somebody said to me, you know, can you make a tutorial on how you paint your pink for my Space Wolves? And I said, yeah, and I did make that video. I made that for my subscribers rather than making it for me. But I still enjoyed that video, and I wouldn't have made that video if I hadn't enjoyed making it. If, for example, I don't know, say something crazy happened, let's say that Age of Sigmar took over the community, 40k dwindled down and everyone was doing Age of Sigmar, that's all people was interested in. Would I sell out and just do Age of Sigmar? No, I wouldn't. Not unless I had a genuine interest in the game. So I think the answer is I wouldn't sell out. I always make videos for myself because I enjoy making the videos. I wouldn't make a video unless I didn't enjoy making it or enjoy watching it myself. I do watch my own videos, and if there's a video that I make and I watch it before obviously uploading it and I don't like it, then I won't upload it. So all the videos are for me, really, but I do take into account obviously what people want as well. So for example, say battle reports. I've always done battle reports on my channel. In actual fact, my first videos were just battle reports. That's how I started after watching Fritz do his battle reports. So I've always done battle reports, but I do obviously strive to make my battle reports how people want them. You know, maybe it's a bit more in depth because that's what people are asking for. Maybe a few more dice rolls, that's what people are asking for. So I tone the video. That's not the word. I can't even think of the word. But I direct the video in the direction that I think people may like to see. But not outside of my zone that I want to do. So I wouldn't make a full 2-hour battle report, which I know a lot of people like, but I wouldn't do that because I don't think I would enjoy that. Because for me, when I play the game's about playing the game, not about making the battle report. The battle report comes second, the game comes first. So yeah, I will still be doing it for myself, even though I try to direct my videos in obviously what I know people may like. So hopefully that answers your question. Next question is from BlackToad Studio, Dom, which incidentally we are going to be having a game sometime in the summer. We haven't got arranged the date yet, but it's going to happen. I can't wait to play Dom because he's a really great guy, really good channel, fantastic painter. You should definitely go and check his channel out if you haven't already. His question is, what do you look for when starting a new army? What traits must the army have to offer, i.e. modelling, collecting, playing, etc.? That is a great question. So I would say it depends where I am, or where I have been, in my hobby career as such. So the first army, generally people just go for the army that they like. You know, they like the rules, like the codex, they like the models. You know, they've got to fall in love with that army. You know, that's the reason. Okay, there might be some people that might just look at the army and say, oh, Tau, they're winning everything, I'm going to get a Tau army first. But I think most people would go in, I mean, Necrons was my first army. I bought Necrons because I went into the Games Workshop store and I saw all the codexes there, and I saw the Necron cover, not the new cover, or the cover before that, but the original old cover, the black thin book. I saw the picture on the front, loved that picture, and said, I am doing Necrons. So that's your first army. I would suggest the second army is usually totally the opposite of what your first army is, because you want to have a change. So for example, say if you've got an orc or a Tyranid like Horde army as your first army, then probably the next army you may go like totally elites, maybe go for Grey Knights, you know, so you've got like 25 models to play with rather than 200 models. For me, I went from Necrons, a shooty army, to Space Wolves, which was my second army, a close combat orientated army. So I would say your second army would usually be the opposite of what you've already got, and I think that's a good way to go. From there on, I think you could probably start to work out what direction that you're preferring with the armies, and that's where your third army comes in. And I mean, for me, my third army, which was Tyranids, I got purely because my buddy was selling them a really good price, and it was nothing to do with the fact that I liked Tyranids or anything. It was just the fact there was an army there. It was cheap, so I got it. So my third army, I didn't really have no choice in. My fourth army was Eldar. I got into Eldar because I found some models in a charity shop. It's 10 quid, box of 16 Guardians and a Farseer for 10 quid. I couldn't resist it, picked it up. So that's how I got into Eldar. And then I've got Chaos Army, which I haven't worked on yet, which is basically all donated to me. And of course now I'm doing my Dark Eldar Army, which I've done for the £25 Army Challenge. Which I basically chose that army because no one in my gaming group has Dark Eldar, so it seemed the obvious choice. So I don't know if I've actually answered the question here. So what do I... Okay, so if I was going to choose an army now, these are the things that I know after all these years of playing painting. I know I don't really like Space Marines. I like the models. I like painting the models. I mean, painting Space Marines is cool. I remember great fun painting my Space Wolves. But on the gaming table, I'm not a fan. I don't know if it's because everyone has Space Marines, or I don't know. I think it's the stat lines as well. Space Marines are all sort of they're all the same, if you get me. You know, it's like strength 4, toughness 4, web skill 4, ballistic skill 4, 3+ save, you know, that's the army basically. What I love Xenos. I love the quirky side of the armies, you know, where you've got a 6+ save and you've got to make that work. I love something different and quirky and odd, something with unique rules. I think that's what I like the most, is I like armies that have their own unique rules that no other army has. And that's one reason why I'm not a huge fan of like allies, stroke, like take what you want, like scenario, because I like to have like Eldar for me are supposed to be psychers, but they're not. I mean, okay, they got some. I mean, the new codex is better, but everyone's got psychers. You know, all armies have pretty much got psychers now. Okay, Necrons haven't, but you know what I mean. I mean, it's no longer a unique thing for Eldar that they're good at psychic powers, and that's what I like. I like having armies which have unique things. I'm still on this question, I'm sorry about this, bit of a ramble. But yes, if I was going for another army now, it would not be Space Marines. I'll be looking at Xenos. There aren't many Xenos stuff left. we've got like Admech stroke Scutari, which pretty cool. We've got Sisters of Battle, which I don't class as Space Marines. They're not Space Marines, are they? Sisters of Battle. If they were to re-release and actually give Sisters of Battle some love, who knows? So yeah, I like Xenos armies. I like something different and unique. I love orcs, actually. I love playing against orcs, but my buddy has orcs and there's no way I'm doing orcs. And that's another criteria for me, is not to play an army which somebody else in our gaming group, we've got quite a small gaming group, so you know, I wouldn't overlap someone else's army. That's my answer. Thank you for that question. Warforge, he says, if you got to name a starship, what would it be? What would I name a starship? I'd probably just name it IDICBeer with my logo on the side. Kiblams, what is your favourite play style, i.e. rush to melee, gunline or a mixture? That is a good question. I do like a gunline, I do like shooting. I think the good thing about shooting is it makes the game's easy when you're shooting, because you just line your models up, you get into position, you fire your dice, maybe a psychic phase, you fire your dice, you're hoping not to be in close combat, and then it's the next player's turn. It's easy playing a gunline army compared to assault army. That's much more difficult. Not in terms of actually getting it to work on the table, but in terms of the physical side of playing the game. There's a lot more involved, a lot more thinking, longer to move and take your turns, and in the assault phase that's generally a little bit more complicated to play as well. A few quirky rules here and there and stuff. So I do like shooting armies, but what I really like is I really like the opposite of what the army's supposed to do. So for example, my Necrons, which are a shooty army, I love playing Necrons as an assault army with Wraiths, Scarabs, Light Guard, Flayed Ones, all those units, the assault units. And making a shooty army work in the assault is great to see on the table. It's pretty unexpected as well, and I like that. I think it's a good challenge. So that's what I like. I like playing armies the opposite of how they're supposed to be played, just for fun. Thank you for your question, Kiblams. Next question is from Andrew Mackenzie. He says, just a random ask here, but always wanted to know how come your channel is IDICBeer. Is it because you like beer or your last name is Beer? If so, that is awesome. Sorry, just curious to know where the tubers find their channel names from. Thank you for the question. This is going to be a tough one for me actually to answer, because I've got something planned for the future. My 5,000 subscriber giveaway involves something in this question, so it's going to be hard for me to answer it, to be fair. What I will tell you though is the beer side of my name is because my surname is Beer, which is a pretty cool surname, I have to say. But that is all I can answer for you in this video today, I'm afraid. But stay tuned to the channel, you will find out. Okay, so next question is from I Got Skills. What is your favourite thing about 40k? The rules and gameplay, or the fluff and minis? If it had to be divided into those two camps. And also, would you ever play one-page rules 40k? I would play one-page rules 40k if it was just a one-off, or you know, like now and again. I'm not going to discuss whether if they changed 40k into a page of rules, because I honestly don't think that will happen. But if you said to me, I've just made the rules in a 40k into one page, do you want to have a quick game? I'd play it. I wouldn't play it full time, but I'd have a go. Excuse me. My favourite thing about the hobby is definitely not fluff. I think the favourite part of the hobby for me is playing my painted models, seeing my painted models, the terrain that I've built on the table. The visual side of that is what I do really enjoy, and I enjoy just zoning out for a few hours, and being with my friends and having a good time, rolling some dice, seeing weird and wonderful things happen on the table, like rolling 5 6s, rolling 5 1s in one go, and just, you know, the quirky things that happen on the tabletop. That's what I enjoy. In terms of off the tabletop, I do obviously really enjoy the painting side, and that satisfies the artistic side of me, which probably without the hobby I wouldn't be doing anything else artistic. So I really enjoy it from that as well. It's like an art form, but it's got somewhere after the art form to go. So yeah, I mean, most people would say paint a painting, put it on the wall, you know, everyone to see. Well, I paint models and put it on the table and game with it for everyone to see. So that's what I enjoy about the hobby the most. The next question is from Tattoo for You Richard. Tattoo for You Richard. He says, so what's your dream kit to build, money being no issue? What's your favourite Star Trek series, Next Generation, followed closely by Deep Space Nine for me? Okay, well, I'll answer that second question first. My favourite series is very, very close, but heading just above the others would be Voyager. I like Voyager. I like the concept of the story of they're lost in space trying to get home, and that we can meet a different alien species that we've never seen before, and I love the time travel side of it as well. There's a lot of time travel, like wormhole, like type of episodes, and that's my favourite type of episode. So Voyager hits the spot for me, my favourite episode, and I do love Deep Space Nine and all the others equally. I love them all. My dream kit to build with money being no issue. Well, the key thing there is money no issue, isn't it? I suppose if I want to look at it from the point of view of something that I realistically would build, paint and play on the table, then I'd probably be looking at the Night, what's it called? I don't even know what it's called. The Night Titan, Space Marines, Night. You know what I mean. Not the big Forge World Knights, Titan Knights. This is how bad I am at Space Marine stuff. The Night. Yeah. I'd like those. One of those, two of those. They've just released that kit, haven't they, with 2 in? That's awesome. Yeah, money no object. I'd have a Knight. Titan Knight, Night Titan. I'm so bad. One of those. If I wasn't going to use it to play with, then it will be Eldar, Revenant, Titan things. The biggest, baddest, biggest Eldar, Lord of War, Forge World thingy. I'd never play it on the table. But that would be a cool kit, I think, to have a go at. So the next question is from Heresy Productions, or just Palmer. Thank you, Palmer, for your question. He says, do you ever go to your local clubs or stores to play 40k? I don't, actually. Not at all. Never, actually. I've only ever played at my buddy's house, three buddies' houses and my house. That's it. Four houses I played in all my games over the last 13 years. I don't play in Games Workshop. There's not a Games Workshop exactly where I live. There is one next to where I work, but I've no need really to play at GW store because I've just got buddies to play. We've all got our own boards and terrain and stuff. If all my buddies moved away and had no one else to play, then I might consider joining some sort of gaming club. I probably wouldn't play in store. I don't know why, but that doesn't appeal to me. Playing in store, or strangers watching you and stuff. No. Probably wouldn't actually play in a store, to be fair. I might play in a club, because I think that would be different, because in a club you've got other people that are there for a reason. Well, in a GW store you may get people that aren't there for that reason. I mean, obviously they're in the store for a reason, but do you know what I mean? It's just like the general public, and it could be anyone there watching you play. I'm sounding a bit weird here, aren't I? I'm sure you know what I mean. Okay, the next question is from Fire Breathing Duck, Darby Conway, and he says, if this hasn't been asked, what do you take in your coffee? If it has been asked, who is your favourite captain in Star Trek Attack Wing? I'm going to answer both questions anyway. I take in my coffee hot boiling water, coffee, as strong as you like, I don't mind as long as it's not weak, and some milk. That's it. Yeah, no sugar. If I have, you know when you go to a restaurant you have really nice filtered coffee, I won't put milk in it, but I will put sugar in it. But at home I'm just drinking instant coffee. I'll just have milk basically. So thank you for your question. The second part of your question I'm going to have trouble answering. What is your favourite captain in Star Trek Attack Wing? I've only ever really played Picard. I think Picard is cool. He's a good captain actually. I've not really played anyone else because I've been playing Borg quite a lot, and where the Borg points are quite high just for the ship, so I haven't been taking any characters on there. I've just literally been taking the Borg cubes by themselves. But there's nothing like playing the Enterprise with Captain Kirk on it. I'm not a fan of playing whatever it's called, I think, because you can play say a Klingon ship and put Captain Picard on there, can't you? I like it to be proper, I do want to get Locutus. I don't know if Locutus is in the game as a captain or a card, but put Locutus onto the Enterprise, and that would be cool. But yeah, I probably haven't played enough, really, to be fair, to answer that properly. Page 2, and we've got a question from Hooves of Doom. He says, how would you rank the different Star Trek television shows from best to worst? I have actually answered this question in the past. It took me about 10 minutes to answer it because it's so difficult. But like I said in the last question, or previous question, Voyager is at the top, and everyone else is just very, very slightly behind that. I do like all the series. And I enjoy watching all the series. I'm re-watching them again. I'm always watching a series. I'm currently on Star Trek Next Generations, season 5. So because I watch it with my children, so they come round, and we put on Star Trek occasionally. So yeah. Next question is from Wargamer Sean. What was your first army, mate? What is your favourite food? So my first army, as I said before, is Necrons, my first love. Favourite food is tough one, because I do love my food. I think my favourite dish is an Indonesian dish. Beef rendang. Rendang. But actually I like all of because in Indonesia there's different types of food. And the rendang is from the Padang food. And I really love the potato cakes, as I call them, but they're called prikadao. I really love that, and some sort of sambal goreng, which is like fried spicy potatoes. I really love spicy food, basically. So anything that's spicy I do really love. And pretty much on every piece of food that I have, apart from maybe roast dinners, I usually have some sort of spicy sauce on there, so I do like spicy food. So that's probably one of my favourite types of food, but that comes from having an Indonesian wife. So putting that aside, let's say I didn't have an Indonesian wife and I didn't know anything about the Indonesian food, then I would say my favourite food would be a curry. I do love a good curry. Yeah. Okay, next question is from Chris Clark. Is there a new classification of unit you would like to see integrated within 40k, i.e. troops, heavy support, fast attack? Could you think of a new classification, or are they all covered in your opinion? I think the classifications we have are good, and obviously GW are expanding them, Lord of War and stuff, and they're expanding them in the upwards direction. So how about expanding them in the downwards direction? So we've got troops, which I suppose at the moment are our lowest ones, but maybe we should have another category called grunts or something, where you could put your grots in there. Maybe make units for armies which are like really, really weak, really like smaller, go down like smaller scaled units, like cannon fodder units. I suppose we sort of have them in troops anyway, but if I could think of something, that's what I'd have. I'd have the grunt classification, where you put your grunts in there. Yeah. Chief Live Gaming. Really enjoyed your game, by the way, against Wargamers Khorne. That was a great game, so well done guys for getting together and playing that game. That was really good fun. Okay, so he says, for the next one, if you had to pick a demonic alignment with one of the 4 Chaos Guards, which one would you choose and why? As they would say in Essex, shut up. Fluff questions. Okay. Do I even know what the Chaos Guards are? Let's have a look, see if I know. We have Nurgle, Khorne, everyone knows them too, I think. Slaanesh, and Tzeentch, is it? Tzeentch? I believe that's the 4 guards. Which one would you choose and why? If I had to make an alignment with them, okay. So it's nothing to do with gaming, it's to do with an alignment. Which one would I go for? I wouldn't go for Nurgle, because they're disgusting, aren't they? Khorne. I don't know anything about Tzeentch. Slaanesh. Tzeentch. I'm going to say, as I don't know who they all are, I don't think, or at least not enough about them, I'm going to go for Khorne. Khorne. Thank you for that question. The Dark Artisan. If you had the time and money, what army would you assemble and paint and want to battle report with? Why would you choose this army and what would be in it? I would go for I've just remembered what they're called, the Imperial Knight Army. If money wasn't an issue, I'd have Imperial Knights, because I think it would be quite a small force, be easy to store, would look awesome. So I'd say Imperial Knights. Now I can remember what they're called. Stupid things. Yeah. What would be in it? Imperial Knights would be in it. Next question is from Grawley's Lair. How do you feel the new-ish Legion Live project is going? Any other ideas you can share on forthcoming Legion of Gamza projects? That's a very good question. At the time of recording this, we've done 4 episodes. And how's it going? I think it's going very well. We've had teething problems. Craig is doing a fantastic job trying to hold it all together. Behind the scenes, how he does it, concentrate on talking and fiddling around with all the techno stuff as well. Well done, Craig, for that. But no, I think generally it is going really well. I personally am really enjoying it. We've got another episode tonight, which sadly I'm unable to make, which I'm pretty gutted about. But yeah, I've got a snooker match tonight, which was supposed to be yesterday, but it's been cancelled and it's tonight. So I can't make that one, which I'm a bit annoyed about, but there you go. But yeah, no, I think it's going really well. We've had what I like about it as well, we had different people on. We had Aceface on, so we're sort of bringing in people who are almost like experts in the field of the questions that we're answering. I like the structured side of it. We've almost got like a goody two-shoes side of it, as such. I mean, I suppose other shows that are around, if you look at, say, Chilling Wargamers, for example, they tend to have more of a banter type episode. You know, it's great fun. I do enjoy watching their stuff, but it's more joking and laughing and discussion. Like that's where we're more goody two shoes type a series where we have like a more serious discussion. You know, we talk about topics, but I think it's good and I think it's good fun. It's nice to have something different, and I personally do really enjoy them, and long may they continue. In terms of the forthcoming stuff for Legion of Gamza, I think they're going to discuss it on tonight's show, which you probably would have seen by the time this video comes out. But we've organised an online competition with us, 1,000 points each, different armies, and then we're going to be doing that on Vassal is it? The online gaming thing. I'm not sure I'm going to get involved with that, but that is something which a lot of the Gamza members are getting into. And eventually our ultimate aim is to have a Legion of Gamza event, which I think would be really, really cool. Obviously it's got to be UK based, or it doesn't have to be, but it probably will be UK based, so we've obviously got some outside UK members, so not everyone is going to get there, but if we can have some almost like a friendly tournament meet-up, possibly do it at War Games, which would be really awesome, because you know, basically it's almost like Warhammer Mania that War Games did last year, but it'll be sort of Legion of Gamza based, I suppose. There's no full details on that. There's almost only a brief one-sentence conversation that we've had, but who knows the future. Next question is from Captain Titus of the Ultramarines, and he says, I was wondering what you think of the Warhammer 40k Space Marine game with Matt Strong as Captain Titus. I think nothing of that, I'm afraid, because I've never seen it, never played it, and I don't do gaming, so I can't answer that question at all. I don't even know who Matt Strong is, so sorry about that. Final question is from Mammoth Painting Studio, and he says, I know you love the Wolves and have a strong standing rivalry for the Blood Angels, but what about the Chaos Legions? Who is your favourite and least favourite of the traitors? Thank you for that question. Okay, so my knowledge of chaos is very, very limited. I do like Emperor's Children. It's the army that I first ever gamed against with my buddy. He had an Emperor's Children army. I had my Necrons, and it did appeal to me. And since I've been doing my Space Wolves, I've been painting obviously the Emperor's Children armour. I love painting the pink and that. I think it looks really cool. So from the limited knowledge that I have, my answer at this moment in time is Emperor's Children. Yes. Okay, that is it. The questions are over. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed answering the questions. Even the ones I couldn't even remember the name of the models. But no, I did have great fun, and I always enjoy these videos, so please put some more questions in the comments box below, and watch out for another episode of Q&A with me, IDICBeer. Thanks for watching.